Hi Hudson Montessori School. I hope that this video finds you and your families doing well. This is one of my continuing updates during our campus closure. And it's a little bit different from ones in the past because I started off, hopefully you enjoyed them, with a lot of pictures that we took this week. Many of our teachers and their assistants did drive-by greetings throughout at Hudson Montessori School and throughout Hudson, so they could see their students. It was something that I think was very welcome by our employees because while they are doing important work in our distance learning, they are really missing spending time with your children and on a daily basis, and just those relationships that they build in person. And I am confident, and I know that soon enough we will be in person and continuing those relationships, but it was neat for everyone to be able to see each other this week. So if you took part in those, I appreciate that, and thank you for doing it. I also want to note that this is Teacher Appreciation Week. We're closing it out, and I want to say on my family's behalf, but also as the head of school, and I know you join me in saying how deeply grateful we are to all the teachers here at Hudson Montessori School. Just in general, when we aren't in a campus closure situation, but especially now, the lengths that they are going to continue personalized and purposeful work for our children is really remarkable. I know many of you have reached out to thank the teachers this week, and I'm grateful for that as well. It's important that they know how appreciated that they truly are. I wanted to continue to give you some feedback on our distance learning. This is primarily actually feedback that I'm hearing from you in conversations that I'm having with families, and what I can say is that there continues to be a tremendous sense of pride and satisfaction with the approach that we are taking with distance learning. And I talked in my last video update about that distance learning being purposeful and personalized, and that is feedback that I continue to receive, and it's coming to me in two basic ways. I would maybe summarize. One way is just watching the observations that you're making of your children, that they are still moving forward, that despite not being able to be on campus, that we are continuing their learning. And interestingly, the other thing that I often hear is families will say, or parents will say to me, "Oh, I was talking to coworkers, or I was talking to neighbors in our subdivision, and they were describing what they're receiving from their schools, and we were describing what we receive at Hudson Montessori School." And a lot of times, what comes across is when our parents are talking to other parents at different schools, they're amazed at how much we are doing. So I'm really proud of that, and thank you for your support of those efforts. And again, I'm thankful to the teachers for doing that work. I wanted to give you an example of some of the work that is continuing, that is purposeful and personalized. Last Thursday night, our sixth graders, about half of the class, gave a video or a Zoom presentation of their sixth grade research, something that they've been working on all year long, and normally would be an in-person public speaking opportunity for them, but we did it virtually over Zoom. We had a presentation on 3D printing, the history of comics, the history of the NACA, which is sort of the predecessor of NASA, as well as a history of Walt Disney World, and a presentation on the ins and outs of the human brain. And not only were these well researched, but in a fairly different format from what they're used to, our students really shined in terms of their confidence and their poise. I'm going to put a link to those videos in this email that accompanies this, and I hope that you will take a look. I also want to let you know that we do have a graduating class this year. They are energetically getting ready for their graduation in early June, the class of 2020. And we will be having a graduation. We were able to make sure that we can actually do that on campus in a way that maintains social distances with less than groups of 10, so we have a unique way that we are going to do it, but we're such a small school that that we can do that. We can have that personalized graduation still at this time, but we will be well, recording that or potentially even showing it live, and I would ask you to get ready to tune in. I'll be passing along the date and time of that in the coming days, and would ask you to tune in. Always our graduates give really impressive and thoughtful speeches about the impact of Hudson Montessori School on them and their development. I'd also like to talk about our plans for this coming summer. In today's Week at a Glance, or if you had already signed up for a summer camp, you received a communication from Tim McQuaid that we have made a decision not to have in-person camp in the month of June. We have not made a decision about July and August, and that is partially because we do expect guidance from the state and county officials about how we might be able to do that. We haven't received it yet. We expect it any day now, and that will help us potentially have those on-campus opportunities, we hope, in July and in August. So we apologize that we cannot provide camp in person in the month of June. But one thing that I do want to communicate is it seems that really there are not going to be many opportunities for children in the month of June, not at Hudson Montessori School or really anywhere. You know, pools will be closed, other camps are closed, and so we want to take that into account, that the children aren't going to be at home. And so under Tim McQuaid's leadership, and with a lot of teachers coming together to plan this, we are going to be providing activities for you. They will be distance-based again, and they are purely optional. They are ones that you can choose to take part in. They will be fun. They will be meaningful. They will teach your children new things, and those will be either very low cost, just covering our the materials fees, for the materials that we have to purchase for those experiences, or they will be free. So we're proud to do this. We think that this is another way for us just to support families at this time, and as a way of thanking you for being part of our community. So our plan is by May 22nd is to be able to reach out to our community to show the variety of opportunities that we have coming your way in the month of June. And I think the last thing I would say on that is that if we are not able to continue camp in July and August, that we would be looking to provide those opportunities for you at home, so that we can continue to support you and your families. I wish I had an update on next year. I unfortunately don't. There's not much new to report other than internally we continue to do work on scenarios that may greet us as we start school next year, building on the success that we've had, taking into account the small pieces of guidance that we are getting from state or county officials to get ready for potential in-person learning. But that is really, we are really eager to get guidance from those officials so that we can make some definitive plans. And in a very real way, we know as much as you do in terms of watching press conferences and reading updates. And so we are eager for that information, and what we'll be able to do is take our scenarios and plug them in once we get that guidance. And once it occurs, you'll be hearing from me about what that is going to look like at Hudson Montessori School, and I will continue to keep you posted on that. I want to reiterate that I am available to you. I'm available for you to contact me, for you to give feedback on what we're doing this year or ask questions. If you have questions or concerns, or you just want to talk about next year, I'm available to you as well. I will be as transparent as I can, as helpful as I can in helping you answer your questions or prepare for next year. And I think that you'll find that those can be, while not perhaps the most information-filled conversations, because we just don't unfortunately have those details, it will open up opportunities for us to make sure that we're saying, so I know what you need to know coming over the summer, and I can keep you individually posted. So please do feel welcome to reach out to me. The last thing that I want to, in closing, just say is I want to thank we had 40 or 45 people on our trivia night on Friday night. It was online. It was hosted by Tim McQuaid and Tracy Keenan, and we had 11 teams. We did 7 rounds of trivia all together. It was a lot of fun, and so I want to thank those members of our community that came together and showed off their trivia knowledge. And lastly, this is Mother's Day, so I want to thank all the mothers in our community for all that they do to support your children and help them grow into the impressive young men and women that we know so well at Hudson Montessori School. So I hope you have had a nice Mother's Day. I wish it were warmer. I wish I wasn't having a fire behind me. I wish I was outside sitting around a picnic table. It looks like those days are maybe next weekend is the return of spring. But nonetheless, happy Mother's Day, and thank you for tuning into this video update.